You're here on news today. Now, Ghana's quest to provide efficient electricity supply to spur economic growth received a shot in the arm in August following the signing of the Millennium Challenge Compact between the government and the Millennium Challenge Corporation of the United States of America. The $498.2 million compact, which will support the transformation of Ghana's power sector and stimulate private investment over the next 5 years, represents the largest U.S. government transaction under President Obama's power initiative. Is poverty reduction through private sector-led economic growth, increased private sector economic investment, productivity and profitability of small, medium and large-scale businesses, as well as employment opportunities for men and women, higher individual and earning potential from self-employment, and improved social outcomes for men and women. The compact has 6 projects: ECG financial and operational turnaround, Northern Electricity Company financial and operational turnaround, access to electricity regulatory strengthening and capacity building, power generation sector improvement, and Pennside management or energy efficient project. Let's look at this matter closely. Eric Curtis Howard has joined us from a presser organized by the Africa Center for Energy Policy, and he'll bring us up to speed what they have been sharing with them. Curtis.
Hello, Kemini. Good afternoon.
What can you report?
Yes, concerning the Millennium Challenge account that Ghana has already signed with the United Nations, sorry, the U.S., and the amount, which is 490.2 million Ghana, as you rightly said. This meeting that the Africa Center for Energy Policy was having with stakeholders today had to do with the conditionality in these, in this contract, and how Ghana can meet those conditionalities. The chief executive for the Brunei Power Authority, Chavez and Mr. Asa, we is actually part of the signing of, was part of the signing of the challenge account, the contract that we this challenge account. He brought out certain information. What he said was that he didn't when government met concerning the conditionality, as to one of them being that the fact that they had to do a quarterly adjustment of power generation in the country. And when government sat down with the various stakeholders, and they realized that the conditionality that had been given by the U.S. government was indeed, were they able to be there? They asked themselves, they did an assessment and found out were the conditionalities friendly? Would they be able to meet those conditionalities? And he said that the discussion, government was not really interested, like as in government, was not really interested in the terms of the conditionality, but realize that how can we meet those conditionalities to access the funding so that we can improve our power sector. So for him, he said that government is meeting with the various energy stakeholders, that includes the Electricity Company of Ghana, GridCo, the CRA, to find out how best they can meet those conditionalities to access the first part of the challenge account, which is they're expecting $308 billion from the United States. And it's based on the performance, as to if they are able to meet the conditionalities, and based on the performance, then the U.S. government will add the remaining 190 million Ghana. So he was very positive that the recommendations in the contract, government could meet those recommendations. But the stakeholders at this particular meeting came out with certain information that they said that they asked Chavez to take back to government. First of all, they were asking for like a policy, an energy policy that would determine the quality of the electrical appliances that we must use in the country. They made mention of the fact that when we wanted to change to the energy saving lamps, government went out to bring a lot of campaigns and said that, let's switch over to the energy saving lamps. So what is government doing about the quality of electrical appliances? Because most of the appliances they do are not energy efficient enough to sort of save the country electricity. So that was one suggestion that the stakeholders at the conference gave there. And they also spoke about the fact that there was a need for public and private sector participation in the energy sector to revamp the whole process and to make it more accessible and more friendly to the ordinary Ghanaian. And they said that how Ghana generates power is very important, and what we use with the power and they spoke about the issue about illegal connection and everything. So they called on the various stakeholders to sit up, do their work, and to ensure that the leakages in the system are blocked so that we generate power, we make good use of power so that the power does not become, it does not get wasted. I spoke to Jabez concerning the Bui Power Authority. Some school of thought is saying that the authority, the Bui is not leading up to the expectation or not augmenting the country's energy supply, looking at the current load shedding that we are currently experiencing. And he made mention of the fact that concerning the load shedding, we is called upon when they have to be called upon. But right now, we has not been called upon. So they have very little water in the reservoir. They're trying to manage that particular water. In the dry season, when the situation becomes much water, they can be called upon to fuel the energy needs of the country. So these are some of the issues that are raised at the
One of the conditionalities with MCA too is the fact that government must pay off its debts with the Electricity Company of Ghana. Did ASAP press a touch on that?
Yes, ASAP touched on that particular issue, and ASAP touched on it, and it was one of the issues that we were asking government as to how is government really coming out to fulfill that particular mandate of paying the debt that they owe the Electricity Company of Ghana. Gridco was there as well, and Jabez himself was there, like I told you earlier. But the discussion and everything they said that what the information that was gotten out of this particular for this particular question, and the answer was that the government is having its various stakeholders meeting, and they're expecting that in next year's budget, a provision will be made of a sort. So it's not like going to be like a one-off payment. Probably it's going to be like a process, and they will try to go clear of the debt so that they can access the first tranche of the amount that is. But Jabez made the point very clear that government is doing everything it can to meet the conditionality in this particular contract so that government can access the first tranche of the money. So he said the government in some calls, and he's very positive, and he sounded very positive, and that government will meet every condition so that they can access their account.
We'll leave it here for now. Get updates in subsequent broadcasts. Thank you very much, Curtis, for that update. Eric Curtis Howard joined us with information from a press conference organized by the Africa Center for Energy Policy.